Children cut off their parents for various reasons. It's usually the subconscious pressure and unreasonable rules from parents that make teenagers run as far away from their parents as they can, the first exit they get. Sometimes they just don't want the responsibility of dealing with irresponsible parents who create stressful environments at home. And the most probable of all reasons is a separation or a divorce of their parents, which creates this lingering, unspoken obligation of cutting one parent off, especially if the relationship didn't end well and had abuse and disrespect. The children observe over the years all this, and as soon as a separation occurs between the parents, children tend to disconnect with the parent that's not permanently in the picture. Okay, so let's go through the 5 steps to the road of rebirthing your child's relationship with you, and so you don't miss any opportunity of opening that relationship again. You have a small window, so let's get started. Okay, number one, assist their future. Number two, give them their space. Number three, let them know you care. Number four, let them know you can be depended on. Number five, reward them for having the courage to reconnect with you. Okay? Now, before I get into the 5 steps, it's important to know that our children don't owe us anything. Okay, I've talked to a few dads in this situation who feel the need to lay down the law with their kids and make it very clear who their father is. It's not possible to continue with that mentality. If you want the best for your kids, you need to change the way you think, if that's the way you think. Okay, so the first step would be to secure their future. And how? When you spend money on someone, it's a good way of indicating to them that you care for them and you're trying to be kind to them. It is the reality of life. Okay. If you don't have a commitment towards child support any longer, and your child is now a young adult, then the best thing you could do is to get covered on a life insurance policy. If you can afford a couple of $100 a month, at least you know that your child would inherit a few 100,000, when you die. If you can afford it, that is, okay, that would be morally a very, very nice thing to do, to say the least. It would be a nice thing for you more than it would be for them, because that would be the first step towards establishing unconditional love from your side to begin with, and then hopefully from theirs. And I'll tell you why. Okay. If you decide to go ahead with it, do not make any announcements. Let the goodness be contained within you. They will find out when the time is right. Okay. If and when you take this step, the value of your life increases so much more, not just financially, but parentally as well, which is very important. If Even if no one knows about it, especially if no one knows about it, the fact that you're showing concern about their well being after you're dead is a good method to revive sparks of parental protectiveness. Okay, this will help you to feel present even while you're made to be absent. Number two, okay, it's important to give them space. Are you ready for this? Okay, you should secretly be more proud of them. It takes courage to do whatever they have decided to do for whatever reason. Okay, let me explain. If your child took such a stance against anyone else who they felt was wrong, you would stand beside them. So now you have to do the same thing and stand beside them in their decision. When you have more than one or all your children cut you off, that of course becomes a little bit more painful. Does it devastate you? Of course it does. And that's why you're here. Every day your heart gets broken. But look at it this way: they're doing what's best for them. And at this point in their life, if they think that the best choice for them is to have no contact with you, accept it gracefully. Your job as a parent is to create an environment where they get to be who they want to be and live the life that they want to live. Whether you're part of their lives or not, that's irrelevant. Your duty as a parent is to allow them to express themselves. And if this is the best option they have chosen for now, you're going to have to accept it. You should always want the best for your child. And this is one of those moments where you have to sacrifice, mainly your ego. Your love for your child should be so unconditional, especially right now, in order for you to be patient until they are ready to open the door. Okay. Third, let them know you care. If you wait for them to turn around out of guilt or have a realization of the pain their silence has inflicted on you, you'll be waiting forever. Okay? It's never going to happen. Human beings are incapable of realizing how much pain they can inflict on to another person. Everyone has a different inner pain receiving capacity. The pain you give someone may not be tremendous on you or as per you. However, the other person's threshold for accepting mental pain may be very minimal, especially if they've not had to deal with similar situations ever. So, the quicker you stop waiting for your child to miraculously start having a conversation with you, and the quicker you realize that the only shot you have with your kids is to not push them further by demanding they speak to you or by speaking to them on guilt trips through your messages and your actions that parents sometimes do. Okay? So, your child has cut you off. You have to work on that relationship just as hard as you would work on any other relationship in which you're trying to get the person back. Just because this is your child, there isn't any document by law that states that they must speak to you. Okay? So, to begin with, accept the disconnection as a time where your child is waiting for you to show up for them as a father. Make them feel safe to talk to you. Make them be able to trust your judgment and advice once again. Make them realize that regardless of your flaws and the reasons for being cut off, you still have their best interest in mind and in your heart. Don't wait for them to come around. Be genuinely concerned. Be concerned about them regardless of their decision to speak to you or not. Uphold your end of the responsibility. Just be a good parent by not making them feel bad. Keep your line of communication open. Send a weekly greeting, even a forwarded message if you have to. Send something that requires no response. If they've blocked you on social media and messaging, send a handwritten greeting card in the mail on occasion, just wishing them well. Unless they clearly tell you to stop, there's nothing demeaning in this. They are your children. Be sure to train yourself not to accept any reply in return. They owe you nothing, but they are your children. They can accept communication from you. Whether they decide not to respond, that's their decision. In time, they will be ready to communicate with you as long as you regularly do your part of letting them know you care. Okay. Number 4, let them know you can be dependent on. You should want nothing but the best for your child. Okay. Every parent would want their child or children to have their own self-love and their own self-esteem. And so let them pursue it. If this means doing it at your expense for now, so be it. There's some prices you cannot stop paying for being a parent. One of them is taking the blame. Embrace it. Okay? And when the time comes to re enter their life, you can change everything around if you do the right thing, if you be the right person, if you treat them the right way, everything can turn around. This is something I encourage you to do. It is your responsibility to give your kids a father they can trust, depend on, and be proud of. Okay? Send them helpful gifts on occasion, things you know they need or would definitely use. Don't buy novelty stuff which can be regifted. Think hard, think smart, be a parent, and get them something that shows you care and that you still know who they are without all the mushy words, okay, which is not required and will not be. What you will be doing is not coming from a place of guilt or fatur. It's you being a parent, okay, and don't think of it as any less. This biannual gesture will go a long way, and if you can afford to make it even more often, then fine. Just don't overdo it where it starts unfolding as a plot of smothering them with an intent of inheriting attention from them. Okay. Number four, and this is important, reward them for having the courage to reconnect with you. Whatever happens, don't make them feel bad they walked out. Don't make them walk into a guilt trap when they are finally ready to reconnect with you. Do not pass comments like, "Oh, you finally called," or "I'm glad I didn't die without getting to speak to you." No, that is not something you want to do, not acceptable. Don't even mention the silent period. If they bring it up, answer responsibly and be humble in your answer. Now is the time you get to show genuine care and love directly to them. Be warm and make them feel they've come home to their parent. Okay, this might not be very far away. It may take some time, but it might just be around the corner. So be ready. Okay, don't ask them about other family members, apart from your other children. Your concern should genuinely be just about them and what they're up to in life. Build good conversation and a relaxed, cheerful atmosphere. This will assure them that there then can be a second conversation or even a meeting. And that's all you need. That's all you need for the door to be reopened. Okay? So just be there as a parent from a distance. And be concerned as a parent from a distance. It's not very hard to do if you're genuinely concerned of being a parent. Picture this. It's your child's graduation. Picture this. It's your child's wedding day. Now your child just had a child of their own. And the person giving you all this joyous news is your child. Things are okay between you two now. You're getting dressed to go to the hospital to carry your grandchild. Picture it. Picture it. It can happen. It will happen as long as you never forget that you're the adult. Okay? Don't give up hope on yourself. And most importantly, don't give up hope on your child. Okay? That's it for today. Be safe, be positive, and keep taking those steps forward.